Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here. Today's video is going to be all of the books that I read in May, as well as all of the books that I want to read in the month of June. I know it's a little bit late, but I figured better late than never. I read 7 books for the month of May, which was really exciting because I basically didn't read at all from January to May. I was in a huge reading slump and nothing interested me. This was a really exciting month. I'm very proud of myself. I was just flying through books and my reading streak is still going. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So we are gonna start with the series that I finished in May, which I did do a video on this. It's my one previous to this. It was my ACOTAR series and review thoughts that I did, but I will just go through them real quickly again if you haven't seen that video. So the first book that I read for the month of May was A Court of Mist and Fury, and this was my absolute favorite book in the series. If you watched my previous video about my thoughts and opinions on the series, you will know that. But A Court of Mist and Fury is basically Feyre struggling with her life after getting out from under the mountain. She's struggling with her relationship with Tamlin. When Rysand offers her refuge in the Night Court, she begins to heal, discovers her true strength, and uncovers a deeper and more powerful love than she could have imagined. So if you haven't read this, I highly recommend it. I absolutely loved it. I'm also gonna give A Court of Mist and Fury 5 stars. The next book that I read for the month of May was A Court of Wings and Ruin. I, again, loved this book. It was action-packed, it was fast-paced. I loved the war, the politics, the world building, seeing all of the different courts, seeing everybody come together. It was just such a phenomenal book, and it was so well written, and it was literally just like I was watching a movie as all of the scenes played out. So again, I highly recommend this book. I recommend this entire series, but I will be giving this one 5 stars as well. Next up, we have A Court of Frost and Starlight. This was kind of just a transitional book between Wings and Ruin and Silver Flame. People have described it as the Hallmark episode or the Christmas special in a series. We're just kind of seeing the characters adjust to life after the war and enjoy winter solstice together. As much as I did enjoy this book, and it was a nice break from all of the action-packed intensity that the prior 2 books brought, I am gonna rate it a 3.5 out of 5 stars, just because it wasn't a super crazy book. There wasn't really anything super rememberable in my opinion. It was just kind of just a nice slow book. So yeah. For my 4th book of the month and the final book in the series so far, A Court of Silver Flames, I did enjoy A Court of Silver Flames. It's basically jumping from being in just Feyre's mind to now seeing the perspective of Nesta and Cassian and going through Nesta's character development and everything that she's facing and everything that she's dealt with. I am gonna give it 4 out of 5 stars just because I wasn't a particularly big fan of Nesta, and the entire story being in her point of view irked me just a little bit. I understand why it was done, and I understand why she is the way she is, but it was really hard for me to get into for the first probably half of the story until it started getting some more intense action scenes. So overall, I do recommend the entire series. It's a phenomenal series. It's a great intro into fantasy and romancy, I think they call it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings. I loved the story of this book. I thought it was a beautiful story. I've never really read a story like it before. You're following the main character. I don't even remember her name. Oh my god, hold on. We're following the main character, Georgia, in dealing with the aftermath of her father passing. She's dealing with her 3 other siblings who are all just absolutely kind of crazy in their own ways, and she's dealing with how she and her older brother, her second older brother I think it is, are kind of outcasts in the 4 of them. And we're just watching her relationships with all of them, her relationships with her mother, going back to the small town that she's from, that she was basically taken from due to this huge event that really affected her but was twisted by her sister basically. And then seeing her relationship blossom with another person. I hope that's an okay description. It was a really good book. My biggest issue, there were so many typos, so many grammatical errors. There was a section of the book where she is dressed in like a tank top and pants, and they point to it specifically because she was like, I always look the best dressed down, like everybody agrees. And then like 4 pages later, she's walking into a coffee shop and her brother, who is gay, is like, I think the cashier, like, I think he might be gay, like, can you figure out if he is? I want to ask for his number. And so she's adjusting her dress, like pushing up her boobs in it and pulling up the hem of her dress, and nowhere in between do they take her home to change. So that like really irritated me. That was, I guess it's not like a huge thing to the storyline, but it was just like, how did you miss this when you were editing it? And there's missing words. Like every time I found a typo or a missing word or a grammatical error, it like took me out of reading, and it was really hard for me to get back into it, which I know sounds kind of dramatic, but it's just like I would be in the story reading and then I'm like, wait a second, a sentence didn't make any sense. And so it would take me a second to get back into it. And I don't see anybody talking about it, which is really, really frustrating to me because I know I'm not the only one that's read this book. So unless I just somehow got the one copy that has all of these errors, I don't know. But it irritated the crap out of me. Other than that, I do think the story's really good and she's a really good writer. I am gonna give this a 3.5 stars, specifically for the editing part of it, because it just, I could not stand it. It was driving me insane every time I found something wrong. So I apologize, Jessa Hastings, but get a better editor. I'm sorry. Okay, and then my last 2 books that I read for the month of May are on my Kindle. It's my little Kindle. I think it's the paperweight. It's a sage green. It's my little Sony Angel, my pop socket, and just like some little stickers. I love it. I don't use it that often just because I do really enjoy having a physical book. I read The Tenant by Frida McFadden. I enjoyed the story itself. I thought it was really good. There was like 2 major plot twists that were like, oh my god, I actually wasn't expecting those. I love psychological thriller books. I will say I probably am a little bit naive, and I don't think very hard about the like what's going on in the book and like what's gonna happen, because I didn't see the plot twists coming. I was like very sure it was gonna go one way and then it went a different way. So I enjoyed it. The story was great, the concept was great. My only issue is I don't like a male point of view. I did not like his point of view, and I think it's the way he was written. Is he's basically like this, oh, like I'm such a handsome guy, I have such a beautiful fiance, but you know me, I'm a man, so yeah, my secretary's hot, yeah, that girl running down the street is super hot, like I'm a man, I won't touch, but I can't ignore how hot they are. Like he was just your typical macho man, and I just didn't enjoy the writing. It was just icky to me. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5, knocking down a star just because I did not like the way the main male character was written. But I did enjoy the story. I think it was well written. I love how fast-paced her books are. Like I've read a few of hers prior to this, and they're always good. So the last book that I read for the month of May was That's Not My Name by Megan Lally. Or Megan Lally, I'm not exactly sure. I really enjoyed that book. My friend Tristan was reading it and she was telling me about it, and I was like, oh, that sounds good, so I'm gonna read that too. This is actually, I think, the first book I read for May, if I'm not mistaken. So this book is following a girl who wakes up with no memory. She's then told that she's a missing girl named Jessica, but as the days go on, she starts to remember things here and there, and things aren't adding up. She doesn't know what's going on, but it's not right. And at the same time, we're also following the male main character. I can't remember what his name is, but we're following him being accused of murdering his girlfriend who's missing. They don't have a body, they don't know where she is, she's missing, but everything is pointing to him, and everybody in the town is thinking that he's the one that did it. The plot twist in this book, crazy. I actually was very like frustrated when like the plot twist revealed itself. I was like, are you kidding me right now? I absolutely enjoyed this book. It was incredible writing, incredible storytelling. The concept, again, kind of like The Tenant, I haven't seen before. Like I've seen something similar to it, but with the plot twist, it made it different in that aspect, if that makes sense. But I give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars because I thought it was really good. I'm knocking off half a star because I don't like how it ended. I'm frustrated with the ending. Okay, now that we've talked about all of the books that I read in May, we are gonna move on to my June TBR and the books that I plan on reading for the month of June. starting with Sarah Maas's Throne of Glass series. I am very excited about this series. I'm gonna be honest, I started Throne of Glass at the end of May, and I just finished it yesterday, June 2nd. So technically this is on my TBR. It was on my TBR for June, but I have finished it. So I really enjoyed it though, but I will talk more about it in next month's wrap up. And then obviously following Throne of Glass, I plan on reading Crown of Midnight. I want to read this again because I've heard such incredible things about Throne of Glass series, and I loved Throne of Glass, the first book, so obviously I have to keep going. I love Sarah Maas's writing so much. She is so good at just creating a movie in your head while you're reading. I don't know if it's just me, like maybe that's just like a weird thing that I do, but if a book is really good, like I can picture the entire book in my head as if I'm watching a movie, and her writing does that for me. Like the entire ACOTAR series, the Throne of Glass series so far. So I have started Crown of Midnight. Following that, I will be reading The Assassin's Blade. I know that there's some controversy about if you should read Assassin's Blade first, because technically it's a prequel, I believe, to the series, but it came out and it's like on her reading list it says to read it as the third, so that's what I'm sticking with. These three are the series that I want to start for the month of June. I don't think I'll finish the full series because we are gonna be moving soon, so I can't really afford right now to just go buy the rest of the series. So that does kind of suck that I will probably have to just like stop at Assassin's Blade and wait a couple months to finish it. So we'll see though, we'll see. I will definitely update you guys if I end up getting the rest of the series to read, like if it's just that good that I have to find a way to get it. So those three for sure I will be reading this month. And then because it is officially summer, I also am gonna hope to read One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I've heard so many good things about this. Like a lot of people on TikTok have been reading it. A lot of people that I follow on YouTube that do like book content have been raving about it, so I'm really excited, and I just feel like it just being about summer is a good way to enter into summer. And going along with that, Beach Read by Emily Henry. I know I'm kind of late to this, like a lot of people have already read it and like in prior years. Again, I feel like everybody talks about Emily Henry being just a phenomenal writer and telling great stories. I want to hop on the bandwagon and see what she's all about and see if I also enjoy her stories, and I feel like this will just be like a really nice laying by the pool read, or like floating on the river, laying by the river read. So I'm excited to start this. I also think that I want to start the Crescent City series. Again, like Throne of Glass, I only have like the first book in the series because it was so thick, and I was like, okay, well if I finish this then I'll get the other ones. I am going to start this. I'm going to do Throne of Glass, probably my 2 summer reads, and then I'll do this, and we'll see where I'm at. Because I don't know if this month is going to be as heavy reading as May was. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. I'm like really excited about this. I've heard, like my aunt was telling me that she absolutely loved this book, and I've heard so many people rave about it. And I'm excited too that from what I've heard, it like kind of links to the ACOTAR world. So I am really interested because Throne of Glass is like talked about like fae and fairies and the high fae, and I'm like, oh my god, I know about that. So I'm excited to see what this one has. I have heard that it's more of an urban fantasy, so there's like obviously like 21st century type stuff in it, which I feel like will be a little bit different because obviously the other two were set in like prior time periods, I think, where that's not a thing. So yeah, I'm very excited about this. I will say I am definitely a mood reader. I'm not like someone that's like, I have to read these books in this season. Like I'm not a seasonal reader where it's like, oh, if this is set in Christmas, I have to read it around Christmas. It's very based on my mood and the vibe that I'm feeling. So this is like a very flexible TBR for June. I definitely will do like vlogs here and there to update you guys with what I'm reading if I decide to read something that's like not in this stack. I think that's all that I'm gonna say for the month of June though, is just these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books, because I did 7 last month, so I think 6 is a good one to start with to see if I can like keep it up. that is my May wrap up and my June TBR. Let me know what books you guys read for May, which ones you loved, which ones you didn't really like, any recommendations you have. Also, let me know what books you are reading for June. Let me know if you guys want to see any reading vlogs for any of the books that I will be reading for this month. I will probably film them anyways, but if you have a specific one that you want to see, let me know. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. I am posting new videos like twice a week, once a week, 3 times a week, at least once a week. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video.